No music.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Best Western Plus Clydesdale Media Saturday Night CrossFit Talk.
Welcome.
We are here. We're here to talk about all the goings-on that happened at the Knoxville Civic Auditorium, whatever it's called. Something like that. Right?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
Knoxville Arena. Yeah, I don't know.
I have the least comfortable desk chair in the history of desk chairs. So, Holly's in the chat. Holly, you've been busy today telling everybody what's happening all around the world in the CrossFit space. To my back right is Jamie Latimer, the crazy one, as some of the listeners told us today, or told me. They didn't say it to her face.
Did not tell me.
So, yeah, it's been a fun day. A lot of action. We had 2 individual events. We had 2 team events, and we crowned the champion of the Syndicate crown on the team side. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, we can start with that. Let's get teams out of the way.
Okay. So we started with a workout where one pair did 30 synchro
30 kale row, 30
Okay.
synchro overhead squats, 3 rounds.
Yep. And then the second pair did 90-90 unbroken.
Yeah, it didn't have to be unbroken, but yeah. I get what you're
Well, I
saying.
just meant not partitioned. Is
Yeah.
that better?
Correct.
Okay. See, I told you. I told you on IG. She's got a lot of pent-up energy. She's ready to fight somebody. We both were ready to fight somebody earlier today, but we're here. So it should be an interesting show. And Kenneth, you'll be happy to know I am trimmed beard, but I was really feisty Scott earlier today. I was ready to take some people out.
Hey, Jess.
So that workout finished, and I think it's the only workout Peak 360 didn't win in the entire weekend.
No, it was Ocean State.
I believe so.
Yeah, they made so that has Christine Best, correct? Yeah, she demolished those 90 overhead squats. I mean, her teammate helped, but her cycle rate on those were unreal, and that a lot because they were not first going into that pair, but she just knocked it out the park.
Yeah, and it was pretty tight. A bunch of teams came in after that. But Peak 360 held on to their lead going into the final event. And I think it was really cool after the reseed, after day 1, we got all the best teams in that final heat.
Yeah.
And it was fun watching the close battles that were. In the final event, it was synchro toast bar.
Synchro bar muscle up.
That's what I said.
Worm clean and jerk, and burpee over worm.
Yeah.
With a little lunge to progress the worm.
That was a battle between Peak 360 and Mayhem. Right down to the wire. Peak 360 pulling it out at the end.
Yep.
So at the end of the weekend, we had Peak 360 in first. We had Mayhem in second.
Mm-hmm. CrossFit 1124 in third.
Yep. And then 8th day CrossFit in fourth.
Correct.
And they are the team that, if you were watching IG, they are the team that started in heat 1 on the weekend and ended up in 4th place overall.
Yeah.
And Jamie's tight with them.
Well, yeah, they're in Grand Rapids. To be fair, they're one of their teammates, Michael, who was the Legends winner that Scott interviewed, 35-39 male. He had a little bit of an injury, I feel like, going into the team quarters. So they had their backup perform their quarters, and that he's not him. So
right.
They came in at the bottom, and this is their true team, and we see where they're at. So really, really excited for them.
And then we had 4 more. Do you have the list?
Reignited, Ocean State, and then TTT Endure took the 8th spot. I might have missed one in there. CrossFit Somos Mayhem, and then TT2 Endure ended up taking that 8th spot, and TTT Levi's Mayhem was knocked out.
Okay. So there you have it. That is on the team side. We got some podium picks. Just got to get those to Holly here in a couple minutes after we're done with the show. And you'll get to see some podium picks of that. And congratulations to all those people. Of course, all the names were Peak 360 and Mayhem.
Yeah.
And I guess Christine Best and Christine Middleton are pretty well known as well. On that Ocean State team, Shaylin Laurie on CrossFit Reignited. So those are some teams you may know from the past that all seem to do pretty well. So congratulations to all them.
Yep.
So now, before we get to the individual, let's talk about the issues of the day.
There were issues.
So when you're given instructions in an email, so we apply for media credentials, correct?
Yes.
Those media credentials were delayed until 2 weeks before the West Coast Classic.
Okay.
We get them, and then we get instructions later about what to expect on the weekend where you appear. In those instructions, it says you will have access to the media pit, you'll have access to the athlete lounge, and you'll have access to the athlete area, the athlete village.
Yeah, which is, I believe, contains the warm-up area, so
yeah,
you just can't get out there.
So then when we got there and we were given the tour, we were told when an athlete comes off the floor, if you would like to interview them, just grab them and take them back to the athlete lounge, which Jamie and I did consistently all day today until, and I will say she is a volunteer, Little Miss Puffy Pants came up to me and said that I could no longer grab athletes in the hallway or the corridor from the competitive floor that went back to the open area where we could get to the athlete lounge. That was restricted. We weren't allowed there. I informed her that we were given a tour by the head of media and told this is the process for doing what we are supposed to do. So she went and got security. Did I act in any way that needed security to be gotten and brought over?
She clearly felt threatened, Scott. I mean, there was definitely some wires crossed somewhere. I get your frustration. I wouldn't even be frustrated with her so much. The whole thing is just a little silly. It's more so that rules apply to some and not all.
I'm getting there. I'm getting to that.
Well, I wouldn't throw that under the bus. Like, she thinks she's doing one thing because.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's let the viewers decide. So we walk away after talking to security, and I let them know that the head of media for the event and the head of media for CrossFit told us where we could be and the process for doing it. We go up to the media room. We get up there. The head of media for the event comes to talk to us, says, hey, that corridor is getting too crowded. We can't let anybody be in that corridor. So we just need you to grab them. And he showed me a picture of a curtained area. He said, you could do the interview there. I said, with all due respect, that area is loud. Can we continue to take them back to the back where it's quiet and get a good interview. Oh, yeah, that'd be fine. Went back down, attempted to do that. Miss Puffy Pants said again that I could no longer take the athletes to the back. I had to do it in this curtained area.
Yeah, she heard one thing. I kind of understand probably where she was coming from. She like held it literal.
Okay.
Like,
I understand what you're saying.
well,
However, every other media outlet was still allowed in the corridor that we were told not to be in, and doing the interviews in the corridor that we were told we were not to be in. We followed the rules. We talked to the people in charge. We did what we were told, and we got picked on continuously.
yeah, it does feel like we get picked on a little bit.
That's why it is Miss Puffy Pants at her fault, because she was blatantly picking on us.
It feels that way sometimes. I just got to keep it on, and I understand your frustration, but we just got to get the athletes and do our job and move to the back.
So I am sick and tired of Lauren Khalil getting to do whatever she wants to do at an event, and us always being the one picked on, that are not allowed to do anything remotely close to what she is doing. And I'm done hiding her name from all of my issues. It happens at every freaking event.
Yeah, I can't quite figure it out. I don't know if it's because she seems to have different roles at each event and people can't quite figure out exactly what her role is, so they just don't even try.
And after we were talked to and asked to change, they continued. Her and Patrick Clark did interviews in the corridor that was forbidden. And what that does is gives them first access to grab every athlete, and we just get whatever is left.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Because they always pick the front runner, and we have always backed
we don't
all the rest of the athletes anyway.
Yeah, we rarely try to grab the first place winner. But yeah, in the earlier heats, we try to get like an event winner and talk to them, and sometimes that goes our way, sometimes it doesn't.
So Holly says, I guess I always assumed she was more official somehow. I
think that is the major problem, Holly. I think most people assume that, and that's why nobody says anything to her.
She is not a part of the broadcast this weekend. She has no She has the exact same one of these that Jamie and I do. She got the same email we got, and her picture was taken in the example given of what can and cannot happen. And you can back me up, JB. The head of media for the Syndicate Crown said absolutely nobody other than medical was allowed to hang out in that corridor.
He said that, but I didn't see any follow through on that.
That's what pisses me off. And I told him it felt like we were being targeted.
Yep.
It was always us that got pointed to and told to leave. And he said to me, that is not the case. Yet it even continued after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happened right up until the basically last event.
So, got that rant off my chest. There you go.
I didn't know you were going to go there at all. Goodness. Maybe we'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe we won't.
Yeah, maybe this gets taken away. I'll be with Rich at the hotel across the street.
Yeah.
All right. So So we had 2 events today on the individual side.
Yep.
It started with
Event.
double unders.
Yep.
Going into
Toe to bar.
toes to bar, into
Front squat.
front squats. Really?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's the workout.
Okay. Start with the women. This
Wait,
air
didn't the men
conditioner's killing
start?
me. Okay, go with the men.
The men started today, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Give me your perceptions. I gotta blow my nose again.
Okay. My perceptions on this workout. I think everyone went out hot and got wrapped up in whatever lead pace got set, and then round 4 basically imploded. Like the last round was the slowest round for basically everybody. Yeah, I don't know.
Any surprises on the good side for this one?
I mean, we both said Hatfield would do well in this one. With the shorter levers, and he did really well. I mean, yeah, he did really, really well. Was that your pick?
He was not.
Okay.
Remember, mine was the disaster pick.
Correct. Yeah, so that's your. I picked Hatfield. I was thoroughly impressed with him. He had a huge cheering section, and it was awesome to watch. And he got the crowd going in that 5th round. Yeah, he was fun to watch. It was just a good race in general.
And even the Jeff Adlers and the Roman Kretikoffs and couldn't keep up with him.
Nope.
At all. So, yeah, he pretty much dominated that one like Colton did in the West.
Yep.
I picked Will Morad.
Correct.
Went back around the corner to grab an interview, and there's Will on the ground with the medical. And we soon found out after that Will had been withdrawn from the competition.
Super bummed about that.
Super bummed. I was hoping he would get to do the double.
Yeah. I mean, I had picked him in my top 11. I had him sitting 11th on the bubble, basically, thinking that he would be the one athlete to do masters and individual, but nope.
Yeah, so I knew something was wrong when he didn't do well in that event.
He started out great.
Yeah, but he lagged hard.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't hear what the injury was. Don't know, like knee, quad, who knows? Anything.
Yeah. There was no significant clue from what was happening with medical to know what was happening.
Yeah. So I'm be curious if anyone got any inside scoop anywhere on any of the other podcasts.
Holly said he made a post about his hip flaring up.
Ooh.
That's why Holly's the best stats and info person in the business.
Interesting. Well, hopefully hopefully he pulled out to just stop any further injury and can still do masters. I hope he didn't actually.
Yeah, me too. So, yeah, that was probably the biggest disappointment. Jack Farlow with another underwhelming performance.
Yeah, he just looks so. It's weird to say this, but he looks so thin to me. Because he's clearly ripped, but he just looks so thin, like frail to me. I know it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he does. He looks smaller.
And he looked like he I mean, he just like runs out of juice. I don't know if he's going out too hot and isn't. He's just trying to keep up with people that he just shouldn't be keeping up with. I'm not sure, but like so far every event he's started hot and imploded.
Yeah, it's baffling. It's almost like here's this guy that could lift the house. Let's make you more of a gymnast, and maybe we overcorrected.
Well, I guess we're going to see in the snatch tomorrow.
True.
That will be very telling.
He'll have to do it from heat 1.
Yeah, that sucks. Not that that hasn't happened. Well, not a win, but we've seen some top performances out of early heats.
So, Aaron, are you saying Will Borad said injuries or Jack Farlow? I think those are pretty much but the pleasant surprise was Hatfield, and then Farlow and Morad were my disappointments.
Yeah, I talked to Taylor after that event. Well, I guess I talked to Taylor at the end, but he had said 22nd, 27th in that event was his expectation. I think it was 28th. So basically did what I feel like it was the damage control event, and I thought he looked good out there.
Yeah, I talked to Saxon Panchek after that event, which is out on our IG. He looks good, man. He looks really good this weekend. He's like just a tick behind the Roman Adler show.
He's crushing it. After that event, I talked to Jack Rosema, who is, I feel like he's doing great.
He was my dark horse pick for this week
to
make the games. He is sitting one spot out. One spot.
Yeah, he sounds like he's in a good headspace.
Yeah. And I think the next workouts will be good for him.
Agree.
So let's flip to the women's side on that event.
Okay.
Started with a blowout in heat 1 with Miss Annika Greer.
Yep. Annika had to, she has to crawl her way up from that run event, and she's doing everything she can. It was a great performance. She looked, well, you talked to her. And
I did after event 3.
I think, you said she talked about how she can run her own race. And that's really, I feel like that's what's happening, is that's what athletes aren't doing. They're getting caught up in these races and they're going too fast. And she didn't have that pressure, and she had great pacing. She looked great through round 5. Not everyone looked great through round 5.
Yeah, I can't wait to get this interview out because it's very raw, very big self-reflection. And this weekend has been a roller coaster for her, with the start on the event 1 not living up to the expectation she set for herself, and made her question herself a lot on Friday night. And then Saturday having this event where she ends up finishing 4th out of heat 1. She set the time to beat, and then Lexi Neely, who I talked to as well, she beat that time barely, and Lexi ended up in 2nd. Annika ended up in 4th, both out of the first 2 heats.
Yeah, crazy.
Huge surprises there. And
so heat 3 went, that had Alexis in it, and you had a little bit of a race there with Alexis and Fee. Who else was fighting in that one? I feel like there was 3 of them together for a while. So that was this morning. That was a long time ago.
Shelby Deal?
Yeah, I think Shelby might have been with them in this one.
Because you talked to her after this event.
Yes, correct.
So, yeah, that was a good race. And then Tia came to the final and did what she does. Anything to say there?
No. It was a tough one to watch Haley fight through.
I was shocked how she went from what she did at event 1 to the fall off to event 2.
Yeah, I would have thought her strength would have climbed enough to get through this, because that front squat didn't seem to affect really anyone. And Kaylee's known for being able to move like 80% weight well, and her fitness usually is enough to overcome it, and toe to bar and dubs are going to be no issue for her. So I was very surprised.
Yeah, I was really surprised. Kenneth says Paige Semenza killing it all day today.
And there's our friend Lynn.
Yeah, we got to meet Lynn today twice, on the way in and on the way out. So cool to meet everybody.
It is.
Yeah, Paige is just building blocks, building bricks, whatever you want to call it. She's fortifying herself a spot brick by brick. Typical Paige, not super flashy, but just getting the job done.
Yeah.
All top 10 performances. So Tia wins that. Second place was Erica Folo.
Yeah.
Third was second was Lexi Neely, then Erica Folo, then Annika Greer.
And then Emma, I think.
Yeah, Emma's having a quietly really solid weekend.
Yeah.
Lynn was our escort in and out.
She sure was.
She may have caught my co-host doing something illegal, but we will pay her some hush money to make sure that nothing is said. All right, so let's go to event 3 with the men. That is the rope climb, echo bike rope climb, box jump over rope climb event.
Oh my goodness.
So many good races. So many good races.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't talk about Will Carter in event 2 out of the first, second heat?
Yeah.
That was an amazing performance.
It was.
I didn't really even know who that guy was, so you had to.
So Will Carter, I believe, is the guy who showed up on Kill Taylor in the sombrero and the, I don't even know what they're called, the poncho thing
yeah,
with Joe Piero to take on Kill Taylor. And Will Carter won an event, right?
Did he win it?
If he didn't win, he took second.
Yeah. It was a crazy time. I mean, yeah, it was a crazy time. He may have won it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, a long time ago this morning. That was like 9 a.m.
Yeah. So then we go to the next event, rope climb, bike, and all that stuff. Farlow actually, Holly says fourth.
Okay.
Rope climb and all that stuff. Farlow starts to look good again.
He starts to look good every time. It's because he goes out hot, and so he looks like he's doing good. He's at the lead, and I think he's going out too hot. That's just my personal assessment. I don't know. But yeah, he looked good through like probably 3 rounds.
And then it just falls apart. And he's going to be in that Heat 1 tomorrow, so I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any surprises, but I did talk to Marquand Jones after Heat 3, and he came in third in that heat. And he basically was like, we all know the big dogs are coming. And I don't think that time's good enough.
He was not wrong.
He was not wrong. Krenikoff, Pepper, Hopper, Saxon killed that workout.
Yeah.
Killed it. They may have broke the programming.
Yeah. It was an exciting race. I was watching Hopper because I was trying to, Scott and I sometimes pick who we're going to grab after a heat, and I'll try to get like clips, little footage clips of part of their workout. So I was following Hopper on that workout and had gotten like his 6th round bike in box and was on him when he went back to the final bike. And it, like, I could see that he was turning up the intensity. Like, he was hammering that bike, and I was like, oh my God. And then his judge's hand goes up first over Dalen and Romans, which you didn't even realize. I was talking to Scott. Scott had no clue what happened with Hopper. I'm like,
because I was trying to catch the finish of Roman and Dalen.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got my camera going. I'm on Hopper. He gets off the bike. So I have footage of his rope climb. He just jumps off that bike and goes right for the rope climb. And I don't know, good call or not, gets the Nora up there. That sucks because he had that event won. I mean,
yeah. And you and I, like, he definitely touches the top. But I think the question is the leg clamp.
So Ken may be on the announcement. So we don't know what was called. And if Ken's saying apparently he touched the shackle, not the yellow, that is what I thought the no rep was for. And so I was trying to show it to Scott when I was trying to tell him what happened, because I was like, Hopper should have won that. Because I think he touched the yellow.
He definitely touches yellow.
But he does kind of clamp his legs.
He does.
So,
and first view, I saw it as a judge and said that's really close.
Yeah, they weren't calling that on anyone though. So I didn't think that was what the no rep was for. But either way, it was probably a legit no rep. So, but it sucks because he totally had, like, he paced it almost perfectly. I mean, obviously, maybe should have taken a 1 second breather to go into that rope climb and make sure it was good. But yeah, he had that thing won. That was super exciting. But
my heart couldn't have taken a three-way. A three-way finish.
It wasn't going to be a three-way finish. He was going to be at least 2 box jumps ahead. It wouldn't even have come down to a race.
That Jeff and the Roman and Dallin finish was insane. And now we have the controversy of the alleged no rep for jumping off the box.
Yeah.
That did not get called.
Not alleged. It was a jump off the box.
So yeah, I don't know. That was crazy.
It was
great
crazy.
Finish. Dallin got a couple no reps that probably cost him that win.
Yep.
Just a careless error of touching the box with your hand when you're not allowed to. So there's that. But I picked Roman to win this in Heat 1, and I was right.
I picked Hopper, so I was so disappointed.
But such an exciting race. And Marquand nailed it by saying their times are meaningless. These big dogs are going to go nuts on this event.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't get to see the post-event interviews, Kenneth, because we're generally back in the back, either with the rules or against the rules, interviewing an athlete back there. So we don't get to see what's broadcast. So what happened in that interview?
It seemed, I mean, who'd they even interview? I thought they were Oh, they did interview Rome. I mean, I saw him out on the. Oh, so they brought both Pepper and Roman to the interview. I'm sure it was fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll have to go check that out.
Then we get to the women. And again, Annika sets the time to beat in the heat 1. This is when I talk to her. This is what she talks about, all the pressure. I'll get that out tonight for sure. Short and sweet, Roman said, I won because I made no mistakes. Dallin, we will see, Roman. We have another bike event.
I would clip that and put his.
I think Hiller already has.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely made a mistake. Just didn't get called out for it.
Yeah. So we start with Annika. The next heat, is that the Jordan Chefs?
Yes.
So that she sets the time to beat. Then we have the Raptus heat that she sets the time to beat.
Yeah.
And then we get to the final heat. And so my question about this, I asked you this on the floor. Because you only had one event on Friday and it was a run dominant event, you get the heats all mixed up now, right? The seating's all jacked for 2 events today. You have Alexis Raptis in heat 3 instead of 4. You have Annika probably lower than she needed to be. You have Fee in heat 3. Like, it just feels like all messed up.
I don't think the men are really messed up.
Okay. Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. It's gonna happen one way or the other. That you're gonna have seating all jacked up from online qualifier being way off for the. I mean, it was a problem yesterday for the run event, even though that was only two heats. Like, you would have said the seating wasn't correct there. It just happens. It's just part of. They can't run all 40 at once.
So Alexis sets time to beat. Then Tia comes in. Tia breaks that time. And Tia wins the event.
Tia breaks 11, but so does Haley.
And Haley is back from event 2. So she has a great event, poor event, great event. How much do you think that is the lack of competition reps over the last 18 months for Haley?
I mean, I think she knows she still has home runs and still has holes to fix.
Okay.
She does seem like she's enjoying it, though.
She does. And her coaches and their daughter have like princess wands or swords that they're swinging at the finish line for when she finishes. Mm-hmm. And she is smiling and waving to the crowd at the end of every event. Very different Haley than we saw 18 months ago.
Yeah.
From that perspective, for sure. Lynn says she likes the mix-up of heats because it actually keeps some interest in all the heats.
So that's kind of my perspective. And I mean, it's kind of why I like all the heats always at the games. I don't like cuts. I think there's always somebody in a lower heat that's going to have a good event. And I like to see that.
Yeah. And in this field, there's going to be some great athletes all the way through.
Right.
That isn't the case in other regions.
That's true.
So Tia wins again, but Haley's great. So now the leaderboard stands. I believe it's Tia first, Emma Lawson second,
mm-hmm.
Erica Follow third.
Possibly.
I think.
Need another tab on your computer.
I know. But we definitely know Tia's winning because she's won every single event.
Yes, correct.
Couple highlights for the day. Crowd was awesome. For everything they were saying last week, the crowd here was phenomenal. The side where the press pit is, or the press room is, that side is full.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't always get shown on camera, which is a shame. Again, let's get the camera on the other side. But the other side is pretty full. But the first side is packed.
Yeah, lane 10 side.
And there's a ton of people standing on each end. They have the seats roped off to try to bring them to the sides, but there are people standing in the corridor.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Favorite story of the day?
That's a good question.
I have two, so I'll give you one. McKenna Enslin.
Oh yeah,
tested the rope climb event. Could not finish the event. Came 2 rounds short of finishing it and testing ever. Finished it today at the semifinal. Got to the end with a huge smile on her face and burst into tears.
Yeah.
That's what this stuff's about.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think she was second to last in her heat, but like the joy on her face was incredible. And the crowd, like her family fans were all sitting in the family stands at the finish line, and like everyone just stood up and cheered. It was really cool to see. I don't know.
My last one's a funny one. I was interviewing Marquand Jones. We were walking out of the athlete lounge. Marquand is greeted by Joe Piero. And Marquand goes, "How'd you do on that one?" And he said, "You know me, man, fighting for dead last. Fighting for dead last. I almost caught a guy, but then got a good no rep on the last rope climb to solidify dead last." So, we're doing our thing. So funny. So funny.
That guy's a hoop.
Is Danielle Brandon going to have an emotional outburst or judge movement by the end of the weekend? She seems just.
I think she seems
rock steady this weekend.
Yeah, I think she seems. She seems to have maybe be a little flustered or have questions when she walks off the floor, but her team around her, it seems supportive and keeping her head straight, and I think she seems pretty calm out there. Personally, she's just doing her thing, and she's doing well. I don't think she'll have an outburst, but we'll see. Yeah. The judging, though, that's a whole nother thing. I got my ups and downs.
That's a bigger story for another day, for sure. What I'll say here is that one big disappointment for me today is 2 people that I have grown to adore in this sport had rough days. Will Morad getting withdrawn. Amanda Barnhart just not having the upper body pulling strength today to compete.
Yeah.
And it was tough to watch.
Yeah.
Because she is freaking awesome. And that shoulder just, I don't think, has been recovered enough to get the reps in to compete at this level right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both her and Brooke took a hit in that workout a little bit.
So tomorrow we have 3 events.
Yep. Starting with the workout 4, the handstand walk row.
Kenneth, this musty room is killing me right now.
Yeah, he's a mess, Ken.
So we have the row handstand walk tomorrow. Can we just agree that Danielle's winning it on the women's side?
Yes. It's an easy pick.
Who you got on the men's side?
Who did I put? That's a good question. I want to say I might have put Dalen. I don't know.
I am between, I have not picked yet. I am between Saxon and Roman.
This was always my tough one for the guys. Like, you don't have a tutor in this field.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know. I'm between Saxon and Roman.
Yeah, Hopper could do good.
Snatch ladder?
There's the new Heat 1 prop bet breaking the record. Set by Laura Horvath, 824. You think it's getting beat, right?
Yes.
I think that's a good call. I think Danielle is fast enough on her hands and strong enough on the row to do that.
Agreed.
There was another prop bet that got added.
Most day 3 points.
Oh.
Fee Sagafi, Taylor Self, Annika Greer, Tyler Christoffel.
Yeah, we both think Annika has a good shot at that one.
I agree.
The overwhelming pick seems to be going towards Taylor.
72% on Taylor Self. I'll go with the 17% Annika Greer.
Okay, so we got our men and women picks for event 4. Event 5, snatch ladder.
Snatch ladder.
Well, probably Tia, but can we pick a second from Tia?
Yeah.
I think Danielle's going to do great at it.
I do too. I actually want to say Annika. I know she's strong. Smaller range of motion. That's what I think.
Okay, I like it.
But again, it says the Anglo-Saxons and the Romans have had a centuries-long rivalry. In my head too, Bernie. In my head.
Okay, men on the snatch. I
think it comes down to 2.
I feel like Hatfield has a really good shot again, like a Colton. How's Jack's strength? Okay. And I think Dalen could do really well. Just way more range of motion, so he's got to move fast.
I think Jeffrey Adler is the perfect blend of range of motion and power. He's as strong as all those other guys, and he's 4 inches shorter.
Yep.
He's not Austin Hatfield short, but he is 4 inches shorter than the rest of them. So my pick is between Adler and Hatfield.
Yeah.
And I'll probably lead Adler.
Okay. And then the big old finale. Bike, ring muscle up, heavy lunge. Women. Okay, other than Tia.
So you made a very convincing argument to me today. And this is very contradictory to my top 12 pick. I'm going Brooke Wells.
Ooh.
Because
Oh.
you argued to me that because of her shoulder injury, she's not going to be able to go unbroken on the muscle ups. So less grip fatigue. And once she gets those dumbbells in her hand, she's not going to stop.
I don't know if that'll give her a win. I just said it may not blow.
Well, it'll give her a win over everybody but Tia.
You think? I mean, maybe top.
Tell me else who on that field.
Oh, let's see. I don't know. Strong on the bike that's going to have strong lunges. I think Alexis is going to do great at it.
Bernie Gannon said they should have 3 divisions in this sport: men's, women's, and Tia.
Mm-hmm. Ken says, do we see a separation tomorrow between 2-day comp capable athletes and 3-day comp capable athletes?
Yes.
Yeah. And I would say this isn't even, I mean, event 1 was long, but the bulk of you got half of your events are on day 3, even if the last one is short and the second one's pretty short.
So Lynn says, I like Brooke for the lunges, but the muscle ups, maybe no. I think that is what the argument is that Jamie made to me is because she cannot do the muscle ups unbroken, she's going to have to be strategic about them and break them up. Because of the breakup, she'll have more juice in her grip to be able to go unbroken on the lunges to the end and pass people. And you said the same about Amanda Barnhart.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're interchangeable on this workout for me.
And I think my other favorite is Danielle Brandon. The long strides that she could take with those dumbbells. She's great at muscle ups.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Like beyond good. She is great. And she's got the body to power that bike at the beginning.
Yeah, I actually think that might be, other than Tia, I think she might be second.
Yeah, that workout fits her a lot.
Okay, men. Oh, this is our race. Dalen, Roman, Hopper. Do you think it comes down to those 3? I'm super curious if all 3 of those guys send the bike and pull a what's it Happelainen? I mean, we've seen it now twice. Pretty much everyone else that's tried it has blown up and it hasn't been worth it. But 2 people have done it and it was worth it. Happelainen and Magda. And I say one of these 3 guys is going to try to break that.
I don't think Roman, Hopper, or Dallin are good enough on their muscle ups to beat Tudor or Hyperlinen's score. I would even say Jeff Adler is a little weak on the muscle up. But maybe then it comes down to this race. Then you have someone like an Austin Hatfield or a Saxon Panchek come out of nowhere and beat them all. Because those 2 are better at the muscle ups. Maybe not as good on the bike. But how does that tax the athletes going into the lunge?
I don't know.
I'm taking Saxon.
Really?
Yep.
I'm taking Dallin. I think he wants to redeem. I think I mean, he like earned it and it got taken away from him. So I think he's gonna be hungry for that win.
He'll be Roman.
Perfect.
Doesn't mean he's going to win the event. All right, guys. We've gone an hour, and I didn't think we would be able to do that. And man, I'm ready to kick this air conditioner right out the window. Bernie Gannon says Saxon eats lunches for lunch.
Good to know.
I think Saxon's going to have a really good day. His mindset is so good right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the top of this field is freakish. This is going to be fun for the next 5 years.
Agree.
Well, guys, any last thoughts?
Nope.
I think Holly asked if anything ended up with that security guard. We did talk a little bit. I actually know the guy from my volunteer days. We've been longtime friends. He argued with me a little bit. I did back down. I said, just get Taylor or Chris and ask them what the rules were.
I think she was talking about security with me leaving when you would, I don't know. I don't think that's what she was talking about.
The crime that was committed by Miss Latimer, we will save. We don't want anything recorded on tape, admitting guilt. So, all right. Kenneth says, go get an histamine or something. I took an Allegra. I asked a pro and an inhaler before the show. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm going to go sleep in a lounge chair by the pool so Jamie can get some sleep. All right. With that, everybody, have a great night. So glad you could join us. We'll be back tomorrow night to wrap up the whole damn thing, see who's going to the CrossFit Games, and we will talk to you all later on the Clydesdale Media Saturday Night CrossFit Talk Show.
Bye, guys.
Bye.